Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something absolutely fascinating. It's the chronological, step-by-step reality of building wealth, but specifically starting in your 30s. We see so much content out there about investing when you're 22, fresh out of college, right? But what happens when you start a whole decade later? We're going to look at this entirely from your perspective. So I want you to imagine you're sitting down, looking at your real, unvarnished financial reality, and deciding that today is the day you finally change the trajectory. And, well, that trajectory starts right here. $214. That's it. That is exactly what's sitting in your savings account the morning you turned 32. And we're not talking about before bills. We mean not after rent, not after groceries, after absolutely everything. Just $214, sitting right alongside a head full of excuses you've kind of been carrying around since your mid-20s. It's a tiny, jarring number, isn't it? It represents the stark, undeniable reality of your financial starting line. Section 1. Confronting the wake-up call. So at 32, it finally hits you. Your 20s? They're gone. Those magical early compounding years that literally every finance book screams about are completely in the rearview mirror. But tonight, sitting in the dark at your kitchen table, you're finally ready to stop lying to yourself. You make what sounds like a pretty decent living, $68,400 a year, which shakes out to about $3,940 a monthly take-home pay. But when you actually map it all out, the rent, the car, the insurance, the student loans, and that massive black hole bucket of everything else hitting your credit card, you are staring at a devastating monthly deficit of negative $261. You have literally been going backward every single month. This is the math you just can't ignore anymore. But hey, here's the flip side of that reality. If you can manage to invest $600 a month at an average 9% annual return, you'll have $1.1 million by age 62. Now look, this isn't some sleazy sales pitch. It's not toxic positivity. It is literally just quiet arithmetic running in the background. But unlocking that math, well, that requires doing the brutal, totally unsexy work of actually finding that $600 in a budget that is currently bleeding out. So how do you actually find it? You plug the leaks. You get on an app and sell that expensive jacket you bought just to feel successful. Boom, $85. You cancel those 3 subscriptions you totally forgot about. You eat a sad-packed lunch from home for 6 solid weeks. You quietly pick up 2 extra Saturday shifts doing work you are definitely overqualified for. It is an absolute grind, and honestly, it comes with a specific kind of quiet embarrassment. But then, one morning, you check your app and see $1,043, your first real emergency fund. There's no confetti, no big celebration, but there is this profound, quiet pride. You just proved to yourself that you can change direction. Section 2. Passing the first tests. As you roll into ages 33 and 34, the journey totally shifts gears. It's no longer just about scraping together that first $1,000. Now it's about defending it against the completely unexpected tests of adulthood. So you set up automated defenses. $400 goes straight into a Roth IRA and $200 into a high-yield savings account. And the absolutely crucial part, you set this up so the money vanishes from your checking account on the 2nd of every month. It's gone before you can even try to rationalize keeping it. And man, thank goodness you did, because out of nowhere comes a freezing, miserable Wednesday morning in February, and your car's transmission just completely gives out. The mechanic calls and hits you with this exact number, $2,300. Now, 3 years ago, this bill would have absolutely destroyed you emotionally, sending you into a panicked credit card shame spiral. But today, you actually have the cash. You transfer the money and you feel something incredibly powerful. It's not happiness, exactly. Nobody likes paying for a transmission. But it's steadiness. You pay it, and you quietly rebuild the fund over the next 4 months. But the tests aren't just mechanical. They're deeply emotional, too. Shortly after that, the market drops. And over 4 grueling months, you have to watch your portfolio slide 18%. You are literally watching real money evaporate right in front of your eyes. But the true victory here, it isn't about perfectly timing the market. Nobody can do that. It's about forcing yourself not to panic sell. You just keep contributing, buying shares at lower prices until the market quietly recovers to its starting point by December. You held your ground, and that is a huge win. Section 3. The changing internal wiring. As you move into ages 34 and 35, we enter what is arguably the most profound phase of wealth building. It's a change that is entirely invisible, happening super quietly in your own internal wiring. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is you're in a store replacing a broken coffee maker. 5 years ago, you would have just grabbed the $39 one, a quick, cheap fix, without even thinking about it. But now, You do a totally different kind of math. You factor in the 5-year warranty, the thermal carafe, the 2,000 uses of the $119 model, and you realize the difference is literally just pennies per use over time. You are no longer making decisions in 30-day windows. Your brain has completely rewired itself to think in multi-year timelines. And this multi-year thinking becomes absolutely critical at age 35, when your company suddenly announces a corporate restructuring. You immediately run your numbers, and you realize your savings buys you exactly this much time: 3 months. When you're standing there watching colleagues carry cardboard boxes out to their cars, you feel this cold, clear understanding hit you. 3 months just isn't enough. Right then and there, you decide you need to aggressively increase your emergency fund to 6 months. And this new mindset, it protects you from the classic traps too. Your friend Marcus rolls up in a brand new $62,000 BMW, but you've already done the math in your head. Financed over 72 months at 6.9% interest, the true cost of that car is actually $77,000. Sitting in his passenger seat, you feel that pull of luxury. Of course you do, but you just let it pass. You realize that desire itself isn't the enemy. Desire on a schedule is. You know exactly what that car would cost you in terms of your time and your future options. Section 4. What wealth actually means. So as you enter your late 30s, the abstract numbers you've been staring at on your spreadsheet finally translate into real-world power. At age 38, you randomly check your app between meetings, and you see it. Your portfolio just crossed the $50,000 mark. It's sitting at over $51,000. This doesn't just feel like a fun milestone. It feels structural. It feels like a poured, cured foundation that can finally bear some real weight. Seeing this number proves exactly why you forced yourself to start all that hard work at 32 instead of putting it off. And then the ultimate test arrives. Your mother calls you, and she sounds incredibly stressed. She's clearly rehearsed the speech. Her roof has been leaking, and the repair is going to cost $6,000. She's no idea what to do. And you reply with these 5 words: "I'll take care of it." You say it without hesitation. There's no frantic background shame spiral calculation of what you're going to have to give up or which credit card has enough room on it. This moment, this right here, is the absolute climax of your entire financial journey. So the crucial point is this new definition. Wealth isn't a number. Not really. Wealth is the capacity and the option to show up for the people you love without it costing you your own stability. That totally shifts the focus away from the money itself and puts it squarely on the emotional capacity and freedom that the money actually provides. You transfer that $6,000 and you know what? You sleep completely fine that night. By age 39, the machine is just humming along on its own. Your portfolio generates $9,000 in a single year purely from compound growth. Your capital is doing exactly what capital does when you just leave it alone. It's making you money while you sleep. But I will say, there is kind of a quiet loneliness to this phase. You realize your friends largely aren't doing this. You carry this immense discipline quietly. You just split the dinner bills evenly, not performing your financial habits for anyone else to see. It's a deeply private victory. Section 5. The arrival at age 40. You wake up on your 40th birthday, you're lying there in the dark, and you think back to that warped kitchen table where this whole thing started. Just look at how far you've come. The median American net worth at age 40 is right around $35,000. But your net worth? It's $200,000. That's nearly 6 times the median. And this brilliantly illustrates that it didn't happen because of some massive inheritance or crazy lottery luck. It happened because you were in a deficit, you got a wake-up call, and you simply refused to look away anymore. You just started the work. This $200,000 foundation is built entirely on quiet, unflashy victories. No credit card debt, student loans, paid off in one quiet transfer. A maxed-out Roth IRA, a rock-solid emergency fund. At the end of the day, wealth never really felt like a big, flashy number. It felt like paying for a busted transmission without completely panicking. It felt like surviving a layoff scare at work without breaking a sweat. It felt like having options, having capacity, and finally having steadiness. You realize that the absolute best part of this entire decade is waking up and knowing the future is no longer just something that's happening to you. It's something you have actually built. So I'm going to leave you with this question as we wrap up this explainer. Is the future happening to you, or have you started? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to open your own spreadsheet, face those numbers in the dark, and finally take control of your timeline.